let's run it. Okay, so we'll start in 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, welcome to episode number 7 of Teddybears and Tentacles podcast. Today with me, I have Skinny Rick.
Yep.
What's been going on this week, Skinny Rick?
School and work.
How's that going? You went and checked out that college yesterday. How'd that go?
That was good. I think I'm gonna do all right. The classes that I'd be taking, I got to kind of like look at some of them. It looks small enough to where I won't feel like I'm in a class.
And the campus, is the campus nice or what?
Yeah, it's nice. They're like medical side of things. Yeah, a lot of medical students. So like their pharmacy program is massive. But then like what I'm like the business stuff is small.
Yeah. Well, that's cool, man.
So there's lots of people walking around dressing up like doctors and stuff, you know.
Oh, well, but that's probably because it's close to Halloween, though.
Yeah, probably.
That's probably a campus-wide deal. Who went? Your mom and your dad?
Yeah, just us.
Cool. Well, it's exciting.
Yeah, so I got to take the SAT. But yeah, I'll be going fall of 2020.
Have you taken the SAT yet?
No, I'm doing some prep courses for it right now.
Good luck, man. I hate those standardized tests.
Well, I don't know anything about the scoring system on them, but when the lady said that like I have to meet a certain score requirement, and my dad said that it's not that high.
Yeah,
like the entry thing for that college is not super high.
Dude, I took my mom's gonna kill me for telling this story. I took a standardized test one time. We take the ACT in Louisiana, and so it's a little bit different of a grading scale type, just the way that the numbers work and stuff like that. So I think like 34 or something like that is the highest, and you know the average is like 18, 19, something like that. But I took mushrooms one night, the night before I went to one. And
did you do really well because of it?
Dude, I went the next morning. It was like 7:00, and I was like, I'm fine. Like it's over, and I'm all right. And you know, you sign up for this thing, and it would be at like a different high school, and there would be like different high school people. Well, the girl that was sitting in front of me was like the best friend of one of my close friends' girlfriend at the time, so she like knew me, and I was like, you know, I thought I was fine, and she like turned around and started talking to me, and it sounded like, and I was like, dude, this is not gonna go good. And it didn't. I had a really bad score on that one. So, sorry, Mom. Yeah, dude, it was not English. I'll tell you that, or any other language that's ever been a thing.
I thought for a second you were going to be like, and I aced it.
No, no, dude. Stuff like that. But, you know, whenever I take psychedelics and stuff like that, back then, it didn't take very much to, like, just completely throw me off, you know. And that one did it, dude. So, let's see. What did I do this last week? I didn't really... Oh, we, you know, I hosted that Smash tournament at Blue Door.
How'd that go? I heard that a new guy won.
Yeah, new guy won. He was just a friend of a regular that they told. It was his first tournament, so it was cool. He was pretty good.
Yeah. I need to get better, but the problem is the amount of time it takes for that game to really get good at it. I just don't have right now.
I mean, it's not really that bad, dude. Like, just, you know, learn how to combo and stuff, and then... You know, one of the main things is learning how to like shield and dodge and timing all that stuff correctly. Once you get good at that, like me, for instance, I'm good at like everything, but I just don't grab enough, you know? And so whenever I'm practicing next time, that's what I'm going to be practicing on, is landing a lot more, just a lot more grabs. Sure. So you just got to pinpoint the things that you think you're weak in and get better at it that game. But also play like a character that moves the speed that you like, and Like if you pay attention to all the characters that I play, they're all pretty similar.
Ganondorf has definitely been. I did not think I'd like playing him because I don't really like heavy characters, but I've been enjoying playing him, dude. Just watching people freak out because like his what's it called? Like it's just B, like whatever the attack is called, where he charges it up and then he like there's only I think there's only like 1 or 2 moves that can knock him out of that. So you'll get people sitting there and they're like spamming attacks thinking that they're gonna break it, and then he just
Yeah, you hit me with that a couple times the last time that we played. I like fully comboed off on you while you were charging that thing up and it still hit me and I was mad.
Yeah.
So, it went good. So that guy won. Dylan didn't play it. He said he doesn't like playing the ones that he thinks that he has a good chance of winning. Whatever that means. Humble brag, you know?
Yeah.
So, whatever, man. He plays cheap characters anyway, dude.
Dude, King K. Rool?
No, dude. That's the most utility that any video game character has ever had in the history of video games.
I don't like him. King K. Rool he's too heavy and floaty and has range. Like
any of them, in my opinion, any of the heavy characters that have like any type of range, or the ones that have those drag moves, you know what I'm talking about? Like Ridley has that. It's just like a side B. You don't have to grab or anything. Yeah. Like as long as he drags you across the map and then like throws you up in the air or something like that. Same thing with like Bowser has a similar move. It's all just, you know, it's moves that like other characters would have as like a charge move or like some move that would be harder to hit. You know, not just like
they just kind of give it to
side B. You know.
Yeah.
No. So that was fun, and then what happened after that?
Ganondorf has one of those.
Yep, he does. Yeah, he does. I'm just not into that, you know.
Sure.
Like, I don't know. They should add like a tilt, grab that did that. That then it would be like, okay, that's fine because you have to actually like get close enough to him to grab him. Ridley, he could be like far away from you and you know, he like flies at you, and as long as he hits you while you're flying, then he grabs you and drags you like even, you know.
Sure.
And I don't know, it's just dumb. So that was fun, and then I don't know, dude. I guess that was pretty much it. I haven't been watching anything really.
No, I haven't either.
I don't think.
I submitted my entry for that Terminator
Oh
thing.
man, I completely forgot about that. How'd it go?
They won't announce the winners until November, but so I submitted it. First of all, I was mad because I spent all that time on it.
Yeah.
Then when I went to submit it, it gave me an error message saying you are not eligible. No explanation, just you're not eligible to enter. Mm-hmm. And I had checked the rules over and over. Nowhere does it say you have to be 18 or older.
Yeah.
There's even a young filmmakers category.
Well, it's probably a rated R movie though. That's the problem.
I mean, yeah, but it's a trailer. Like it's not.
Do you have to be 17 or 18 to get into a rated R movie?
I don't know. You can get in any age with a parent's permission.
Yeah, but I'm talking about by yourself.
I don't know. But it was just frustrating because I spent all that time on it. So technically, my dad entered the competition. So.
And we're talking about this and putting it out on the internet right now.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's fine, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. How much time do you think you spent on it total? So for anybody that doesn't know what we're talking about, Adobe, which is, you know, basically the streamline editing software for everything right now.
They're the big
as far
boys.
as video, audio, graphics, all that stuff is Adobe. And so they are doing a competition where you do a remix trailer on the Terminator trailer that is about to come out, I guess, or is it out already? Was that trailer out already?
The trailer was already out, but the movie isn't.
Yeah, so it's about making you got to make a new trailer. Trailer's already out. It's a Terminator movie, which we don't need another one of.
The trailer that's out is like 3 minutes long, and then the one that you make has to be under a minute.
Right. So they send you the files, and then they
send you some stock footage, the shots from the trailer, and then the voice, like the audio tracks, but no sound effects, no anything like that. They give you. Basically, the only thing you get from the trailer is the video and then the voices, but no sound effects. They send you some stock music, but I may have made it wrong because the kind of idea behind it was to like remix it to be like a different genre, I guess, but I didn't want to do that, so I just made a regular but better.
Yeah, so
I don't know. I just kind of made it like how I would have made the trailer.
So how much time do you think you spent on it?
I don't know, dude. I honestly don't know. I mean, there was a point where I was working on it every day when I got home from work. So, I mean, it's just kind of like I haven't been playing a whole lot of video games lately because of school and then stuff like that. So, like instead of coming home and playing video games, I'm coming home and working after work and then going to bed.
Good.
So,
well, let's see. Oh, I finished Borderlands the other day, and I'm working on my Guardian stuff right now, and so I'm still having fun with it. Yep. And I guess that's really it, dude. Pokemon's coming out really soon. Still not up for digital pre-order.
Breakpoint came out.
I don't know.
It's that Ghost Recon.
Oh, yeah.
I want to get it, but I don't want to get it until I have time to play it.
Yeah, and then I found out that they're porting all of the old D&D games for PC over to Switch, which
I'll probably end up buying.
Baldur's Gate, Neverwinter, and I think Planescape might have been one. My mustache has a thing going on with it. I'm not feeling it. Anyway, so yeah, we got a lot of stuff to get into
today.
Yeah. Anything else happen before we dive into that stuff? Because that's going to take up a good chunk of our time. Okay. So the first thing that I want to look at is apparently Turkey has attacked some Kurdish civilians. And I guess we can Google that. I don't really know exactly what the situation, what all entails with this. And so for those of you who don't know, the Kurds are in Syria. I
thought from what I heard was that what happened is Turkey launched this attack once the U.S. withdrew, and they're basically like undoing what the U.S. was doing.
Yeah.
They're just trying to control Z.
Yeah. Well, one of the reasons that I wanted to bring this up is because I showed you that video of that Kurdish soldier getting shot at. Pull that up.
Yeah, dude.
You can go to my Facebook. Just type in Facebook. This is a pretty interesting video. We'll put it up on the screen. If hit saved. See over there to the left, down a little bit. We'll put it up on the screen. So this is a
is it going to be back?
Nah. Keep going down. Right there. See it? Yeah. So this is a Kurdish sniper girl, and she almost gets shot in the head, and she kind of just brushes it off, and kind of sticks her tongue out, and in the video with audio, she just continues to have a conversation with whoever's on camera or whatnot. What kind of gun is that? You tell me what kind of gun that is. Supposedly that's a really
SVD. It's the Dragunov, yeah.
And so that's supposed to be like what a.
I mean,
that's supposed to be like the big boy one.
It's just like yeah. That's what it is.
This thing looks super Russian,
SVD
bro.
Dragon. It is.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, because you get it. So like,
it looks like.
Here's the thing: is like there's parts of the world, like Europe, and like America, and like there's different countries that inside of NATO that have agreed, like, hey, this is like what we're using because it's more humane. Yeah. I don't have to get into it, but basically this is a big boy sniper. Like, this is gonna mess you up.
Yeah, and so if you're,
and this is not.
Yeah, if you're listening and not watching to this, basically what this thing looks like is, think of the style of a AK-47 with the wood grain and all that, and this is basically a sniper looking version of that.
I mean, it's very. Here, let's look at.
I'm not a gunologist, dude.
I'm not like an expert, but
you think of the same company or something like that?
I mean, oh yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it's Russian for sure. Yeah. But
yeah, click that. Is a Dragunov an AK-47?
Well, no. I mean, yeah, they were designed in the Soviet Union.
Okay. This is what this says. The only similarities are that they're both rifles, both designed in the Soviet Union, and both have rotating bolt locking. Here's my question. That's everything. Right? The only similarities are everything about the guns.
Also, I mean, for one,
it's different caliber.
The caliber, they're similar.
Yeah.
I may not know this to be true, but basically, if I have it correct, they both use 7.62. I know an AK shoots 7.62. I know a Dragunov shoots it, but the type that the Dragunov shoots, it's another kind where there's like more powder behind it. Like, I don't think the round itself is larger, but it's the amount of force behind it, because there's armor plates rated for 7.62, but not 7.62 blah 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 whatever the Dragunovs fire, because that's what happens a lot is, that the plates that our military uses most of the time, they'll catch an AK round, but if you get hit by one of these,
yeah, well,
it's not stopping it.
If my brother's watching this, he'll set us straight. He's a gun.
Yeah. I mean, here's the breakdown.
I don't know any of this stuff, dude. And I don't want to, really. Dude, how cool is the Russian language look, though? Written language.
Looks spooky, dude.
It looks pretty cool.
But yeah, this is a somewhat standard rifle. Yeah. For like,
let's go back to the video.
What's happening right now?
So she fires first. You won't be able to hear this in the audio, but she does fire first, and like literally about a half second after she fires, you see a bullet hit right where she was standing, and it looks like a lot of them have. Actually,
there's a few.
Yeah, there's a few bullet holes, and so
look, there's another one right there.
Yeah, the reason that this was brought back to mind, because I saw this a while back, was
she's wearing slides too.
Yeah, and she's wearing slides with socks. Your dad and I were talking about, he did a podcast on mental health with some people, and we were just talking about PTSD, and he was kind of talking about how there's a lot more U.S. soldiers that are diagnosed with it than soldiers from other parts of the world. And then as soon as he said it, you know, I remembered seeing this video, and it's like she just kind of like like sticks her tongue out, and
I mean, that's honestly,
I mean,
that is you should probably have that response, because if you're in that type of setting and you can't figure out how to not let that get to you, does that make sense?
Yeah, but my point though is like, you know, she was just real nonchalant, you know, about it. She's probably been fired at a lot, and so she's desensitized to it. And that was the point that I was making whenever he, you know, with him was, it's like, dude, look at this. Like, here's a, you know, whenever you think about a U.S. soldier, you think like, you know, all of these different things that you see in movies, basic training, and somebody forgets their boots and they get scolded and have to, you know, mop all this stuff. And it's like, here's this girl, dude, out on the battlefield wearing slides. Yeah.
I will say, you know, I'm not going to act like I'm some expert when it comes to combat, because I've never been in an actual combat zone, but there are a few things she's doing here that could be done better.
Yeah. Like not wearing a helmet.
Yeah. Well, first of all, she's got a bright blue bandana on, which is doing nothing for her against that white background.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, also at the same time, which it's a big gun.
Yeah.
But she's resting it on the windowsill, and she's breaking the plane of the window.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to do that. You don't want to do that, because now anyone who's outside of that building knows where you're at.
Yeah, it's true.
So I don't know. I have a very basic understanding of sniper tactics. Yeah. Very, very general.
Well, this looks like business as usual for her.
Oh yeah, so. She's done this before.
Yeah. Pop. Yeah, so
jeez,
I thought that was interesting.
You can tell the camera guy's smoking too. There's like, they're just hanging out.
Yeah, they're chilling. Let's see what else, man. Have you seen this? That Apple shut down this app that was in China for protesters.
No,
Google that. So Apple shuts down Chinese protest app.
No.
Now, I found this really interesting whenever I found out about it, because it seems like
Hong Kong?
Let's see. Yeah, right there.
This?
Yeah, because, you know, I don't know for sure, like the Chinese government type thing, but this was basically an app. Think about something like Waze, sort of. Do you know what that does?
Mm-hmm.
It's like an open source, crowd ran Google Maps style thing where you can, you know, drop, hey, there's cops here or whatever. But so apparently Apple had an app that Chinese protesters and stuff like that were using to put, you know, basically communicate with one another, show where protests were happening and where the police were there. So we'll read a little bit about it. Apple's complex relationship with China has made the headlines again, just a day after Chinese state media criticized the company for allowing HK Map in its app store, and a week after Apple flip-flopped on its initial decision to delist the app, the crowdsourced Map app has been removed, again sparking concerns that Apple is pandering to China's political regime. And, you know, so this was what I was saying earlier. How is something like that allowed there in the first place if at least part of that country is a dictatorship? Do you know what I'm saying? It seems like, you know, that okay, so let's keep going. HK Map creators, however, say that there's no evidence that the app has been used to target yeah, so it basically is just like Waze. Oh, look, they pulled the VPN apps too. Wow. And remove the Taiwan flag emoji. Dude, this stuff that's happening in China is really spooky.
China, all right.
Dude, I'm like, I don't know anything about China straight up. I know that at least, part of it is communist and ran by a dictator from what I understand. But
I mean, what are we doing? We're deleting apps because of protests?
Well, dude, if it's a dictatorship, then obviously, like,
there's the first mistake.
You get killed for stuff
I
like
know,
that.
like that's what are we? What?
Yeah, dude, I can't remember. Nah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
man.
I don't.
We
I can't
did
remember
it.
where it was to be able to say that.
We're here.
Yeah, I mean, it's
we
weird,
made it.
Man. Yeah, we made it for sure. But
I don't know, man. I don't know. And it is because I've grown up in like America, like the type of freedom we have here. Someone tried to take that from me, dude.
Yeah, but this is what like a lot of people don't consider is that
it's very different for someone who grew up in a dictatorship. Yeah. Like they don't.
Yeah. For instance, here's how oblivious, most people are and how much the media controls the narrative that happens in this country. So Russian collusion, right? 2.5 year long thing. All this stuff about Russians meddling in our elections and Russians meddling in everybody's elections. But what do we do?
Nothing.
No, what do we do? What does the U.S. do with other countries' elections?
Oh, yeah.
Meddle in their elections, and if somebody gets elected that we don't like, we figure out a way to get them out and replace them with somebody that we like.
Sure.
And it's like we do it the most.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? We do it more than anybody. We read about a thing where some people, did that regime flip wherever
with the bananas.
With the bananas, and there wasn't even anybody there.
Yeah. Well, I'm all for us staying out of other countries' business, but at the same time, basically, it's like I'd love to see other countries like get to a place where they have the same types of freedoms we have here, but at the same time, like we should not be doing that for them because it's a totally different culture, it's a totally different thing.
But we're not doing it for them. We're not. Most of those places end up worse than they were.
Yeah.
Whenever Muammar Gaddafi got assassinated, like now there's open slave trade.
That's what I'm trying to say is like I think we should stay out of it because we're just going to make things worse. Like the people there need to work out what they're doing,
You can buy a person in Libya after the Gaddafi assassination.
$250, right?
$400.
$400.
Yeah. So we're not, I don't know. Whatever, dude. I don't understand all the workings, of the government whenever it comes to, international relations, foreign relations, and all that stuff. But I don't know, dude. It doesn't look good in China, and it also just so happens to not look very great in the places that we try and help, especially especially places that have such like opposite culture from what we have. You know?
And I mean that's my point. Is like I'm all for those countries.
It's like trying to force them
not being a dictatorship, but at the same time, it's like we don't know what it's like to be there. Yeah. Like let them do it. If they ask for help, sure. Let's not be like doing a CIA.
It's just like if you look, back at the previous Russian and Soviet Union leaders compared to Putin, like
Putin's Great.
Yeah, like that's why he's been elected all those times there. You know, I mean, we just don't know.
I don't know.
It's weird to.
It's a weird topic.
It is. It's weird to think about. It's weird to, and the thing
There's
is,
really
like,
no simple solution to any of it.
And also, like, for this, also the thing with, Turkey, it's like I can spend tons and tons of time researching that stuff and learning about it, and I will anyway, and I would anyway, but I'm like, for those countries, I'm still not gonna know exactly what's going on.
Sure.
Because there's gonna be some type of media platform spin on it here, and it just is what it is. Yeah. So,
well, I mean, it's the same thing. Like,
I try and have conversations with this based on like the extent of my knowledge, but the fact of the matter is, like, we just don't know it.
When I was in Zurich, people were saying stuff about America that I was like, "What?" They were like, "Yeah, that's what the news tells us." I'm like, "No, we're not. Like, that's not a thing."
But it's the same thing with everything else. The vaping thing right now.
That's what I mean. It's like there's just the media is so I don't know, so backwards right now that they can't just report on what's happening.
Dude, I saw some straight up vaping like I'm talking about like real deal propaganda went across my Facebook thing the other day, and I was like, what?
I get that crap. Dude, Trey gets that crap all the time.
Dude, let me tell you what this article says. Somebody overdoses on pot. Let's look into the situation. Guy goes to the hospital from overdosing on pot. Let's read the next sentence. Guy with a brain tumor goes to the hospital for overdosing on pot. Let's go to the next sentence. Guy with the brain tumor goes to the hospital for complications with his brain tumor. He just so happened to smoke pot. Like,
yeah.
Every sentence that goes by says, this isn't about pot. This guy had a brain tumor. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's straight up propaganda, dude. And like, they can't just outright lie.
No, I mean,
so they just change a headline to where it's clickbait, and
I think we're either going to get to a point where all the media right now is something's going to break and it's going to fix itself, or it's just going to get so bad to the point where people, like, if it keeps going on, like, truth is just going to be in the hands of whoever's got like the voice, like whoever's running the show is going to be the one who decides what's what, if that makes sense. Like, because once you get to the point where, so like, for example, like you talking about like the types of news that would happen when you were like younger, like, I don't know. I've never experienced that. I didn't live through that. So once we get to the point where like all the people, like when the majority of people don't remember what it was like before the media was so backwards, it's just going to get to the point where the media kind of controls what the population thinks. So something's either going to change or it's just going to get worse and worse until there's nothing left to do about it.
Dude, let's go to something else. I'm going to break something. I don't want to talk about this anymore right now.
We could talk about that tweet, bro. That dank tweet.
No, because that's still the same. We're still in the same. Can we just talk about something else for a minute?
All right.
Let's talk about, we talked about the golden toilet that got stolen last week. Some people got arrested. Can we Google that? Can we look that up? Jesus Christ, dude. Man. Right there. See New York Daily News on September 17th. How did we end up? Here's my question.
This is a different one. Unless this is where they found it.
Keep going down.
Dude, get out of my face, Walmart.
Stop. Hang on, I gotta make sure this dude.
I'm not interested.
All right, hang on. Let's see if this is the same one.
After Saturday theft of the fully functioning solid gold toilet piece of art by the Italian artist, I'm not going to even try to say it because I can't.
Yeah, hang on, but go down. We have to make
Entitled America?
Yeah, but we need to make sure this is the same one.
He named the golden toilet America.
Whoa, go scroll up, dude.
What are you talking about?
Stop it. Yeah, this is the same one, Blenheim Palace. All right, I just wanted to make sure that there wasn't 2 toilets stolen, and that we're saying, all right, so supposedly there's a second arrest made for the toilet. Scroll up. A second arrest was made in connection with the theft of an 18-karat gold toilet art installation at Blenheim Palace, the birthplace of former British Prime Minister Winston Churchill. Thames Valley Police said on Thursday that they had arrested a 36-year-old man on suspicion of conspiracy to burgle, who was released after the Saturday theft on the fully functioning solid gold toilet, a piece of art by the Italian
artist
Maurizio Cattelan entitled America, perfect name for it. Police said that he arrested a 66-year-old man. However, they believe the lavatory larceny was pulled off by a crew using at least 2 vehicles.
You know what? Look, a guy stole a toilet. Let's not get into alliteration. All right.
Yeah.
Let's not be clever. Let's just be a reporter.
Oh wow! So the palace flooded. I guess whenever they removed it, they didn't turn off the water to it.
Yeah.
Neither suspect has been charged or identified. As the investigation continues, the toilet, a satirical statement about excessive wealth, is valued at £1 million, 1.2. Dude, all right.
They don't have anything confirmed. They just have.
I've heard so many different values on this freaking toilet, bro.
It's a golden toilet. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, but didn't it say 6 million last time? Now it's saying 1.25 million.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it did, because the reward was 330,000. Remember?
Doll hairs.
Yeah. It was pretty close to this. It's not that. But there's not that much difference.
The toilet satirical statement about excessive wealth is valued at £1 million. It's not yet been. If it hasn't, so what is this? Because this isn't the same bathroom.
No, this is some museum, the Guggenheim Museum in New York. I guess potentially it. You know, a lot of that kind of stuff. Whenever they do exhibits, moves around from like museum to museum, or potentially if it was in Blenheim Palace, they could have
priced it,
gave it to some exhibit for a certain amount of time.
I don't know, dude. I think it's funny that they stole a golden toilet, but at the same time, I'm sticking with what I said last time. Don't make a golden toilet, dude. Just use the gold to make a golden bathroom. Make the room look a little nicer.
Yeah, and then they can't steal the bathroom.
Yeah,
because it's a room, not a toilet.
You gotta basically steal the whole house.
Yep. So hopefully we'll find out what happened with that. I'm interested to see who took this thing and what they did with it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Fatberg, dude. So I just learned about this morning. I didn't even know that this was a thing.
This is the thing we were talking about earlier. I'm gonna close out of this.
Okay. So a Fatberg is where is this in? Sewer systems?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So a Fatberg is basically in a sewer.
How do they spell the
different
tower of
cooking oils? PISA. Different cooking oils and hygiene products, like I guess stuff like deodorant and shampoo and stuff like that aren't water soluble. Just kind of, glunk up and make an iceberg of more or less fat. And this
Nasty.
thing is, it's definitely disgusting. So household cooking fats and hygiene products played a pivotal role. This is on The Independent, a UK-based website. So household cooking fats and hygiene products played a pivotal role in the formation of the giant fatberg found lurking under a seaside town. Scientists have revealed the 64-meter monster, greater in length than the Leaning Tower of Pisa, was discovered under the Esplanade in Sidmouth, Devon,
Dude,
just before Christmas last year.
Gross.
This is a year old.
I can't look at this.
A team of scientists from okay, they did an autopsy, try and solve the mystery of how it was constructed and whether it posed any environmental risk. So the risk behind these things is that this is basically just these things cause a lot of disease.
They cause a lot of disease.
It's also in a sewer,
and there's a lot of things that could go wrong. Because for one, when you've got that much fat, it's stopping the sewer from functioning, which means the sewers can overflow. And that's where it gets dangerous, because you could basically start another plague. That's why there is sewer maintenance. That's why we don't just dump everything underground and let it go.
This is pretty gross.
It's super gross, and the people that have to clear it out have to get down there and manually clear it out.
It's nasty.
They got to get in some of them hazmat suits.
Yeah, so it took them 8 weeks to remove this thing from the sewer, which is pretty bizarre. That's a long time. Scroll down a little bit. 36 tanker loads, each 3,000 gallons of debris were excavated and removed by a dedicated team of 7 specialists. 7 people had to do this thing over 8 weeks. This is like a second Chernobyl, dude. The university team, and what I mean by that is that, they had people that were were sending out there. They were like, you have a minute and 30 seconds, and then that's like maximum radiation exposure you'll ever be able to get. The university team found that the samples received were mostly made of animal fats consistent with domestic food preparation combined with household hygiene products such as wet wipes and sanitary products.
As well as.
It did not pose a chemical or biological risk to environment or human health, but it's still nasty. So that's
okay. So
it's crazy to think about the stuff that's under the ground, dude.
So they didn't.
That's under us all the time.
This stuff's real, dude. It's dangerous.
Yeah, it's nasty. All right. What else, dude? Let's see. Oh, I wanted to look at this. So in South Carolina, apparently there's a Google server thing. And South Carolina has allowed them cooling.
Like liquid cooling?
Yeah, this is crazy, bro. Here you go. Right here. U.S. News and World Report, top stories. First one, South Carolina, Google can pump drinking water for servers. Yep. So apparently, South Carolina is I'm just going to read it because it just says it. South Carolina is allowing Google to cool its servers by pumping nearly 550 million gallons of water annually from a declining aquifer.
Okay, what?
Yeah, so we don't really.
South Carolina.
Yeah, so South Carolina is letting Google use over 550 million gallons of water from an apparent already drinking water scarce area. A part of South Carolina that's already, losing its capacity of drinking water every year already. So Google promised to be sustainable and touted its nearly $2 billion investment in the region, but critics say that Google shouldn't be allowed to draw water from the dwindling water supply. That's crazy, man. The things that we do to make a dollar, Yeah. And what are we doing with it? It's allowing us to watch YouTube videos, and it's also allowing us to do this podcast. But it's not allowing some people to have 550 million gallons of water. California would kill for that,
Dude, the most gallons of water I've ever seen in one place is
7,
Yeah,
probably.
I'd say 10.
Yeah.
Because there was that one time during the hurricane.
Yeah. Dude, it's
That's wild, dude. I mean, I'm not into that. I'm not into this place. Looks huge too.
It's hard out there for the earth.
This facility, dude.
Yeah. It's
That's
bizarre,
so
man.
big, bro.
Super bizarre. Yeah, so we got that going on, and then the last thing that I wanted to look at is I wanted to take a little visit to our good buddy Jeffrey Epstein and what we got going on now. So there's a couple things. Prince Andrew has hired a Hollywood spin doctor.
What is that?
Okay, so there is some channel. I'm not sure if it's here in the U.S. or in the U.K. or if it is like a Netflix thing. I tried to find it or a trailer or anything for it, but they are making a documentary on this guy's relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, which I want to say that it's the same company making the documentary that made the recent R. Kelly one that got R. Kelly, brought up the R. Kelly stuff again and got him arrested and all that. And
Who's doing this? Who's paying for it?
Prince Andrew hired a spin doctor, which is basically someone who builds a new narrative around his situation to try and negate some of the stuff that would potentially come out in this documentary. Another thing that I found really funny. So this one, for instance.
So he's involved, basically. If he's paying someone to change it.
Yeah. But this is the thing. So we don't even have to go into this because it's not worth it. But the headline of this is why Prince Andrew's latest Jeffrey Epstein excuse is the most idiotic yet. And I'll tell you what the excuse is. So we watched a video last week of Prince Andrew in one of Jeffrey Epstein's estates. And if you watched and you remember, it was very strange. He seemed to not want to be seen in this guy's house and all that. The date of that, I don't know about the video, but the date at least that this article is referring to is right after Epstein's first, or back in 2010, whenever he had those allegations come towards him, and he, ended up serving 13 months in prison or some crap like that. But it was right after that, and Prince Andrew stayed with Jeffrey Epstein for 4 months, and Prince Andrew is the excuse for him to stay there is that he went to visit Epstein to end their friendship for 4 months.
He was there for 4 months.
Yeah, and he said that he went there to end their friendship. What you think about that?
I don't know, dude.
I think a text message would have sufficed. You know what I'm saying?
Here's my question. If you have $1 bajillion, why do you need to run a sex island? Like, why? So, like, okay, you have all the money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why do it? Why do any legal and get yourself killed when you could just do a sex regular?
Type in this. Type in Alex Acosta.
What?
Type in Alex Acosta, Alexacosta, told that Jeffrey Epstein is intelligence. So Alex Acosta, I want to say, was DA or something like that back in that thing in 2010.
Spelling? I don't need it.
Let's see. What do we want to go to?
So they're suggesting that he was a spy.
Yeah, click this Newsweek one. Yeah, do it. So we'll go down. President Trump's labor secretary took stage Wednesday to defend his decision to negotiate a secretive 2007 plea deal with lawyers for Jeffrey Epstein, a billionaire accused of sex trafficking minors. I'm pleased that the New York prosecution is going forward with these charges against Jeffrey Epstein. They brought these charges based with new evidence. Epstein was listen to this, dude. Epstein was sentenced to 13 months in prison where he was allowed to spend 12 hours a day outside of the facility on work release. He was also made to register as a sex offender.
This is when he died, or this was before?
This was the last time he was arrested. Yeah.
So not this time when he died.
Yeah.
So how many times has he been arrested?
New allegations from the Daily Beast and journalist Vicky Ward reported that Acosta told the Trump administration during the screening process for his current role that he was asked to cut a deal with Epstein because he was told the financier belonged to intelligence and that the issue was above his pay grade. And that's why.
There's a lot of spookaholics going on.
This guy was running a blackmail operation, dude. So, like, he was obviously intelligence. There's no... look at the list of people that flew on his thing. The Prince hung out with him at his thing. The Clintons hung out with him at his thing.
You're suggesting
Chelsea Handler.
He had all this blackmail.
All
this blackmail. And it was kind of like the keep your friends close and enemies closer. Mm-hmm. And so he was just basically roping all these people in and like forcing them. It's like, hey, like this is how it's going to be.
Yep.
Okay.
And
I get what you're saying.
All of his stuff apparently was bugged everywhere, cameras everywhere. And so whenever they weren't willing to cooperate, he was running a sex trafficking thing. And they say, hey, we got some video of you. I'm sure really all you would have to say is we got some video of you hanging out with Jeffrey Epstein. Like it wouldn't take that much. But And so this Prince Andrew thing, I thought it was interesting because the royal family at different time periods has had some crazy stuff happen. If you want to look this up, you can. Do you remember me talking about that show I was watching, Picnic at Hanging Rock, about the girls that went missing? That seems to be based on this. So type this in. Queen Elizabeth and the Missing Children. So this was written by it's called the Clampoos kidnapping. And so what it was this. Keep scrolling down. Come on. This happened in Canada, and a group of kids from this Indian boarding school went on a picnic with the Queen and her husband. And then here, I'm just going to start reading it from here. The day she got to the school, I was a part of a group of kids that went on a picnic with the Queen and her husband and school officials down to a meadow near Dead Man's Creek. Why did people go to places like that? You know what I'm saying? Remember the Dyatlov Pass thing, the names of the mountains, and like the mountain ridge was like, don't go there, and like Dead Man, like you're gonna have radiation on you or something like that. The day down to a meadow near Dead Man's Creek. After a while, I saw the Queen leave the picnic with the 10 children from the school, and those children never returned. We never heard anything about them and never saw them again, even when we were older. They were all from around there, but they all vanished. This is in Canada. Keep going down. And she was found guilty for this, I want to say. Hit back. Yeah, I want to say that the Queen was found guilty of it. Keep going down. Right there. Click it.
Where what?
Queen Elizabeth found guilty in missing children. This is in 1964. Keep going down. Magic cards. We can keep that up. I like to see what's going on. In the second week of May, after nearly a year of litigation, Queen Elizabeth and her husband, Prince Philip, were found guilty in the disappearance of 10 native children from Catholic-run Clampoos Residential School in British Columbia. Grieving parents haven't seen their children since. They left for... And apparently she had a freaking arrest warrant out on her. And this is how a lot of this stuff came to light again recently. Go back up to the top. It might say it.
They went on a picnic.
Yeah.
The children just disappeared.
And she was found guilty.
But nothing that
Yeah.
happened. No.
So I say that to say the royal family has some weird stuff that kind of surrounds it. And it would not surprise me if Prince Andrew was all up in this Epstein business, not for the business reasons. You feel me?
Dude, you think he was a kitty toucher?
I mean, dude, he hired a spin doctor.
The man
Like, come on, you
has
know.
dug himself a grave, in my opinion.
Yeah. So it's just a lot of rough stuff, man, going on.
This stuff, it's so weird because it's like, I guess this isn't really a conspiracy, but did I tell you what happened at work on I think Monday? Yeah.
No, but I do want to be clear about this before you say that. This isn't like, I'm not like, this isn't conspiracy
Well,
in the negative connotation that conspiracy is like. This is happening in real time.
There's a difference between the aliens are doing this versus there's some people who don't want to get caught.
The definition of conspiracy is a couple people deciding that they're going to do something. That's it. Not even a bad thing.
Yeah.
And so,
but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's one of the things. Like me and your dad, we're about to start a podcast where we do the conspiracy thing, and he, you know, because I don't take it from, I don't do the like hollow earth, I don't do flat, I don't do all of that stuff. I do, you know, JFK, this stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like that type of stuff that's happening, stuff that obviously, you know, right, and
isn't normal.
It makes me nervous because he wants to take the podcast. He wants to take a spiritual approach, which I'm all down for. But like,
y'all are talking about Nephilim at that point.
In my opinion, those are the type of things that give negative connotation to the term conspiracy theorists. But this is neither here or there.
This is something else.
Yeah. So go ahead with your story. Sorry, I just want to make that clear that I'm not a Bigfoot chasing, like I'm not that guy. I just find fascination in this. 10 children went missing with the Queen of England on a picnic. It happened.
Yeah.
You know, and that should rack your mind that happened. That's it. That's what I'm interested, you know.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
So, I was working at Blue Door, and some guy, you know, I don't have personal experience with it, but if I had to guess, he was probably like tweaking on freaking meth or something.
Yeah.
I mean, you could tell he was not necessarily in the right spot in his brain.
Yeah.
But anyways, there it is.
That's how you find it.
And so he's wearing like those denim shorts that are like really long, but you also wear them low. So they're basically pants at that point, but they're not covering your butt. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? So he's wearing that, no shirt, has a bunch of tattoos. It's a white guy, older guy. There's a bunch of tattoos. He's got like a stripper tattooed onto his stomach, and then like a bunch of crazy designs up in his shoulders and arms and stuff. And he runs in, and he's got a busted lip, and he's like bleeding, and he's got a cut on his head. And he's like, I need to get, like, I'm going to buy a large black coffee. And he's like in a hurry. And so we're like, all right, man. He like pays for it. He's sitting there, and he takes a business card off the thing and starts writing something down. And then it's like looking around. It's like, where's the camera? Where's the camera? And we were like, it's here somewhere. We were like, Kenneth was like, yeah, like it's over there. And he was like, where is it? Where is it? And Kenneth wasn't like telling him where it was, but he was like, you're in the right spot. He like starts holding up the message, like looking around. And he's like, you know, someone's trying to kill me to like cover up this thing. He's like, they're like, someone's trying to kill me to cover up this like lawsuit or something like that. I don't know what he said exactly, but he was freaking out. He thought someone was out to get him. And then he like pulled a chair out and sat in the middle of the like room. And Kenneth was like, yeah, man, you can't do that. And he was like, I'm sorry. And then Kenneth was like, yeah, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. Like, you can't be in here rearranging our furniture and like freaking out, you know, asking where the camera is. Like, the guy was like, okay. And then he like spilt the coffee on him and was like, because it was hot. And, but yeah, like he like is looking around. Kenneth was like, all right, man, like you got to go. And he left and then just took off running down the street. But I was like, what the heck? I don't know. Everyone in the place thought he was coming in there to rob us, but I don't know. I just did not get the feeling that the guy was trying to hurt anyone.
When was this on?
Monday.
That's crazy, man.
But I was like,
maybe he was on drugs. Maybe somebody was trying to kill him.
Maybe both.
Yeah. I
mean, if I had to guess, it was probably both because he didn't punch himself in the face.
Yeah.
I mean,
sure.
I don't think he would have.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did you ever punch yourself in the face? Yeah. So he got someone hit him in the face. If I had to guess, someone hit him and then he fell and hit his head on something because he was bleeding from up here and on his lip. And so I think someone did try to hurt him, but could have also just been his buddy or like his girlfriend was like mad because he was freaking out.
Or literally just he could have went somewhere else and started freaking out.
And someone hit him. Yeah. It's like, you know, but at the same time, someone could be trying to kill him.
I would have got it on video. Why didn't you video it?
I didn't want him to freak out. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess.
I just didn't want to escalate the situation any more than it already was because everyone in the shop was like,
yeah, that's weird.
So, but yeah, I mean, like just a minute or two after he left, some cops came up and were like, "You guys see this?" They described him, and Ethan was like, "Yeah, he went that way."
Oh, maybe they were trying to get him, dude.
Well, they were responding to a call because he had gone into the business next door, and they called the cops. So, yeah, I don't know, man. But it was weird for sure. But then it's because it was a bunch of SCAD students in there, and they were like, "Oh my gosh! Like I thought he was about to rob the place." And one guy was like, "That's the craziest thing I've ever seen." I was like,
Dude, you go to SCAD.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know, man. You haven't lived in Savannah that long if that's the craziest thing you've seen.
Have you ever walked outside?
Yeah, like it's freaking like 1 year. You know what? Never mind. It's fine. I've just seen some weird stuff happen in Savannah.
For sure. Well, good. I guess that's all we got for today. You know, we
went a little long.
We'll continue to do this Epstein stuff as long as
it's relevant.
I think for as long as because it's not relevant anymore, dude.
I mean, as long as there's information.
This is what I want to say. I want to say this because this like the media turnover.
Sure.
This isn't a meme.
No.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This isn't a meme. This shouldn't have got bumped out of media coverage by anything.
There's all sorts of stuff that happens like this that doesn't get covered by the media because the media wants to, like, they want to run with what they want to run with. And whether it's intentional or unintentional, they're controlling what the population sees, you know? And so until we get some, like, honestly, you know, I don't want to start a whole thing, but until we just get some like genuine, like just stand up good people into some of these more like leadership roles around the media and stuff, like we're just going to keep getting sideways reports. It's like you know,
my point is this.
I'm not trying to start the whole thing. It's like, this political party's trying to control everything. But it's just a matter of, I mean, it's like what we were talking about earlier, like our first priority should be to help each other as people. We shouldn't let the political climate divide us. And so until we can get some people in leadership positions that have that mentality, that are just good people and can look past the political climate, we're not going to get actual news. It's just going to be biased.
Don't let the media control your narrative.
Yeah.
Don't let the media control your world. That's what's happening. The media decided that this Epstein thing was not
Important.
Well, it's not even that. It might not even be that they think that it's not important. It might be that they want to cover it with something else.
Sure.
Cover it up with something else. It's not a meme. It's not a troll. It's not. Give me something that it's not. What's the Lil Nas X
Old
song?
Town Road?
It's not Old Town Road. It's not. Eminem's latest freestyle. Yeah. It's not that stuff. It's a guy that's trafficking kids and also not kids.
And also some adults.
Yeah, and you've got politicians and royalty and all these people that are all in this network of freaky ass people. Yeah. Like that's what it is. And I'm tired of the media controlling these narratives. Don't let the media do that. Whenever something like this happens, take the time, talk about it. Yeah. Take the time, because what they're trying to do is make us forget about this stuff. They want us to battle each other over who's eating meat and who's not eating meat.
Yeah, sure.
And I'm just so tired of it.
It's just, we need to figure out what's important. Really figure out what your priorities are. Because if your priority is, how can I bash this person that I don't like today, like on social media and stuff, that's what's going to happen. That's what social media is going to be. It's just going to be toxic. But if you're like, hey, what's happening? What's going on? Like, what's important? And you're trying to actually sit down and find out what's happening in the world that you live in. It's not like what happens in other countries and what happens outside of your every day-to-day life it's not like that stuff's not gonna impact you, because what's happening on the other side of the world, whether we like it or not, is going to affect us here. What's happening with the royal families and the political powers, it's gonna affect you, because you live really in reality right now underneath those people. They're deciding what's happening. And so
the priority's not who's got the better chicken sandwich. It's just not.
It's up there. It's not at the top.
No, it's too much. What most people don't realize is that if this thing is true, and the names in these books and the people that were on his island and rode on his planes and stuff like that,
there's too many people involved for it not to be important.
So many of the people that run this country.
Yeah,
it's so many.
So many.
There's so many.
The thing for me is there's so many, when you think about the just the importance of one of the people on the list, the amount of power that they hold, there is too many people who hold too much power. There's too much power wrapped up into this one topic that has just been swept under the rug.
Yeah.
For that to be okay. When the majority of the world powers are involved in this situation, we got to figure out, okay, hold on, we're doing what?
Yeah,
we got an island,
and
then these people are just hanging out.
Oh yeah, we're gonna go long today because we didn't do this. What about the guy that was trafficking, doing the adoption trafficking thing?
Oh, dude, you were talking about
this.
That
is in the same line as this stuff. So this is a guy, Marshall Islands, which I believe is a Polynesian island. It's between Hawaii and the Philippines.
That's Micronesia, right?
Yeah. This guy in Arizona.
I don't know.
Just
Did you
have
it pulled? Did you have it pulled up? Did you already have it pulled up?
Just type in guy, traffics people from Marshall Island.
How do
all this stuff just looks connected, man. It just does.
Well, it is. That's what I'm saying. Is things are too involved for it to not be talked about. I just clicked on the first one. I don't know if you want me to change it.
Marshall Island officially. This is Arkansas Online. Why are we on this? Let's go to something else. The Arkansas Democrat. Get this out of my face.
CIA.gov. More CIA.gov. CNN. You want to do CNN or no?
How is this not one of the top things? Go up. Jesus Christ, dude. Come on. We're defining this. Go down.
I did go down. It's all CIA.
I don't
and
want
CNN.
Arkansas Online.
Global security. Wikipedia.
Do a guy traffics people for adoption.
From what?
Just do for adoption after that.
Don't worry about it. I can spell.
So
Even though I
homeschooled. Do I don't care. Do NPR. First one.
can't. All right.
A public official in Arizona has been arrested in connection with charges he ran a multi-million-dollar scheme in which he smuggled pregnant women from the Marshall Islands to profit from their newborn babies. So this guy
So he traffics the pregnant ladies.
he bribes them into coming into the U.S.
And then he sells their
houses them. Yeah, and then he sells their children under the guise of all this fake. He forges documents, birth certificates, stuff like that, and then
To make it
sells
seem
their
legit.
kids. Yeah.
Well, you know.
And all of this stuff is happening in the same general area. Finder's cult. New Mexico is where I want to say the governor guy that had the allegations, on Epstein's plane and all that stuff. That's also where Epstein's company won the lottery. This is all in the southwest part of the U.S. Doesn't seem like it's in California yet, but it seems like in these weird states in the desert.
But I mean, what's like? It could be that because what else is going on over there? Like if this stuff was happening in like places like New York, like that, there's too much.
I mean, it happens there, but
yeah. But do you get what I'm saying?
Dude.
Like there is so much open like stuff in the Southwest. Like there's not a ton happening.
New Mexico was also where they found that camp that was training the kids to go and like ISIS training kids or something like that. It's just too much, man. All of this crap. It's
Dude, that's why
in my opinion, every single bit of it has to be connected.
It's the weird West
is, dude.
instead of the Wild West.
It just is. There's a specific type of person that's gonna buy a trafficked child.
Yeah.
There's a specific type of person that's gonna sleep with a little girl that you fly in your private jet from,
I think it's safe to say that those are the not good people.
They're not the good people. They also just so happen to be the powerful people.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's too much. Let's go to lunch. Can we go eat lunch? I want to hey, my name's Quinn. You can follow me on Twitter at TBAT Quinn. I'm giving a pause for the lower third. You can follow Skinny Rick on Twitter.
Real life too.
Yeah. Or in real life. At Skinny Rick.
I need to work on my Twitter account because I haven't done anything.
I haven't done very much either. We got to get some stuff going for this thing.
You can also find my secret TikTok, which is out there somewhere.
Yeah, just look for it.
I've got an actual TikTok.
Yeah,
but then I've got a
and
secret
then the Skinny
TikTok.
Rick TikTok, SKIN.
That's the real one.
RICK, and I'm gonna do the fortune cookie today. Don't trust anybody, especially the government.
Okay.
I'm done. I'm done, dude. I'm done.
We'll see you guys next time. A satilton.